Yo, what's good? Dante here, back with another one. This is going to be a very unique video. I usually don't make videos about this specific topic, but I don't know. It was on my mind, and it's when I so when I was listening to it, there was a video I was watching, and there's a content creator. They made a video about Terror from Teen Titans. If you've never seen Teen Titans, what are you doing? Go watch Teen Titans. Even if you gotta watch Teen Titans, go watch Teen Titans. But specifically the original Teen Titans. There's a character named Terror, and she is a metahuman. She is her power is she's a I don't know what the words for it. She's a I guess essentially she's an earthbender. She has control over earthly elements. She can control. She can cause earthquakes, rock slides, anything pertaining to earth and rocks. She can control it. Also check out Young Justice. She's also in Young Justice, but specifically we're talking about the original 2003 Teen Titans. So they made a video about essentially the what they were trying to argue was were we as fans too critical or too hard on Terra? And in their video, they were on the side of yes, we as fans were too hard on Terra. And I was watching the video. I was like, okay, they're making some good points. And then they brought up a point about Robin, and it became like a whole thing of like a misogyny element, where it's like, well, you guys were all hard on Terror, but when Robin went over to Slade and became his apprentice, uh, like you didn't bat an eye. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Those are two completely different situations. I'm about to explain it right now. So you have to understand when Robin took over, well, Robin became Slade's apprentice. Um, that was a completely different reason than with Terra. Robin became his apprentice for the sole purpose of saving his teammate's life. Um, People, when they look at Robin, they always call him Batman Jr., which that is true. He is Batman Jr., and he acts like Batman in the series. Now, obviously, he's a kid, he's a young boy, so he does have his moments. But for the most part, he does have a lot of Batman's tendencies. He's very meticulous. He's very, he keeps a lot of stuff to himself. He's very need to know when it comes to giving out information. But he also cares for his teammates, his family. That's the Teen Titans are his family. Um, so when Robin um, became his apprentice, Robin was coerced into it. He had no choice. It was either watch his team die or become his apprentice. And even then, when he became his apprentice, Robin did everything in his power to make sure he still took care of his team from a distance, and he was trying to fight off Slade. Terra, on the other hand, she took one misunderstanding. It's not really a misunderstanding. She took one event, and granted, Robin was justified in his he was justified in his thinking of the situation with Terra at that point. Terra was still an unknown. They didn't know much about her still, but Beast Boy loved her around so much. Starfire, and then Cyborg was like, okay, she's kind of cool, but Raven and Robin, Raven and Robin, they a different breed. Raven don't trust nobody. She don't like people at all, and she knew from the beginning that girl was not mentally stable. Now you'd be thinking, well, Raven is not necessarily mentally stable. Yeah, that's why she puts up that front. Raven acts the way she does because she's not. She knows she's not mentally stable. That's the difference between her and Tara. Raven has gotten to a point in her life where she understands her emotions can kill somebody if she doesn't control herself. Tara never got to that point in the story at all where she I don't think she ever got that realization that she had to get her powers under control, and that was the thing. They were doing. Look, they took her in, right. They helped her. They wanted to give her like a sense of community and family. They gave her a place to stay, but Robin understood the most because he's the leader. He's the main responsible. Well, not the main responsible. He's the main responsibility, but they all have to take care of themselves. But you know what I mean. He's the main. Like everything at the end of the day falls on his shoulders. So if something happens to one of the teammates, it all comes back to him. You know what I'm saying? He's the leader. Um, but yeah, even when they first met up, Robin was the first guy that was like, "Hey, you need to get your powers in check. You need to train. You need to get this stuff under control because you have a lot of great power, but you don't know how to control it." The whole Spider-Man thing. Great power comes great responsibility, and you know, and he still had his reservations about her, rightfully so because she is an unknown. She really came out of nowhere in that episode, and the next thing you know, she's in the facilities. You know what I'm saying? But part of it is I think the difference between him and Bruce and Batman. He's still at that age where he has like his naivety and like him having a soft spot for people is still prevalent. Like he hasn't gotten to that point with Batman's like jaded. It is what it is. He'll have his moments, but like he understands that you got to be very, very careful and very, very selective of who you let into your circle because that could be the difference between life and death. Um, so yeah, but Tara, her situation was I don't think she fully understood the magnitude of her powers and the fact that look, just because people like you, that doesn't necessarily mean they trust you 100%, and that's a reality of life. You have to earn people's trust. I think part of it is she thought, oh, I'm just as long as I guess as long as I'm cool with these people, they'll trust me, and I'll have somewhere to call home, I guess. And to be fair, I'm not bashing her for wanting to have a home and family. Everyone deserves a home and family, but she took the situation to an extreme, like because basically what happened in that episode when she finds out that Beast Boy knew that they didn't really trust her. I think this was after I think it was the episode when they were in the mines. I believe that's where it stemmed from. And she got upset at Beast Boy because he held back the secret that like yeah, I mean like she was like, you don't trust me, like I mean, and Beast Boy he didn't have the heart to tell her like yeah, I don't trust you like that. I don't know you well enough to let you in like that. You know what I'm saying? And she got upset and then left. And then Slade took that opportunity of weakness. You give Slade an inch of vulnerability, he'll exploit that exponentially. So, and then that's how he became. That's how she became the the second apprentice. Yeah, second apprentice. I think the Robin was first, and then her. But yeah, but knowing all that, and if you watch the show, there's no misogyny there. The reason she got so much the backlash for her decision is because dictate. Um, she let an emotional moment have a huge impact over her alliances. And the funny thing is that part that scene the not scene that episode with the mind, she knew that guy was bad and she still went to him. That's the problem. Now you're gonna say, well, she's a young kid, she doesn't know any better, she was manipulated. Yeah, she was manipulated, but so was Robin. But Robin didn't make a decision out of emotion. He made a logical decision based off the logistics of the situation. Like I said, it was either watch his friends die, watch his family die, or look, I'm gonna do what you want for now. And that's the thing. Terra never fought back. She didn't fight back to the very end against Slade. Like it took her a long while to figure out, to really understand that this man is evil. He is not, nothing he does is in your best interest. And I think that's why people get on her so much, is because, look, man, the fact that you know that the people that let you into their house have been fighting this man for years, they know this man is up to no good, and you were upset and went to the first person that showed you even an ounce of compassion. That is that's actually really sad. And I understand the thought process. I understand her decision making, but it's actually really sad. And I think a lot of people look at it as that's a very, very weak moment to have, especially knowing everything you know about them. I can see if it was a thing where she never met the man and then he just popped up one day and then she went off with him. That's one thing, but she knew that man's track record and still made a conscious decision to team up with him. And then she gets mad. She gets worse and worse and has more resentment over the Titans as the series of events goes on. And then it's like, well, why are you mad? And the sad part is they actually went easy on her for a good while until I remember there's a specific scene. I forgot what episode it was, but it was a scene like at the end of the episode. Um, it was right before she took over the city. Um, if you know what I'm talking about, there's like the next episode that starts. She's like riding. It's like empty streets. It's nighttime, and she's riding on like a piece of rock, and there's a whole bunch of like soldiers with her, and she's just like roaming down the street. The end of the episode beforehand, if I remember, if it was that episode that followed, or whatever the events of the however they um, released the episodes. At the very end of that episode, what I'm talking about, Robin, they all get together. This is after they got smacked by Terra. Terra destroyed them, and even Beast Boy was like, "All right, that's enough. Like, this is crazy. Like, we'd have let you off the hook multiple times. We'd have tried to talk reason to you, and you still don't want to listen." So it even got to the point. When Beast Boy and Starfire get mad, you know you messed up. You got on that last nerve. You crossed the line one too many times with them two. And even the fight where they got smacked, Raven, she said to Terra, always like she's like, I always knew you were up to no good. There was just something about you from the minute I met you. And I was like, yeah, I get, yeah. I mean that not to the she didn't. No one expected her to get to this level, but like I can understand Raven's. I can understand Raven's thought process when she said that. Like there was just something about it that was off, and I understand that. No one expected to be going down this path of evil, but yeah. So then at the end, I remember. So the part where they at the end they end up at the tower, and it's kind of like you see him, but it's kind of like a voiceover more, and they all like everyone said like a little line or something like, hey, he's like, it was like no more it was like no more compassion, like no more chances. We got to fight for real. We're gonna take you down. Like no more chances. When we're done, we gave you enough chances. We're going next time we meet, it's on site. We're gonna take you out. And that was just like that was the, that was the point where it's like, yeah, man, like they got that was that scene always plays in my head because that was the point in that arc where it was like that was the turning point. Was like they had to look at that girl as an actual threat and not as a I guess a pseudo family member instead. Um, and as I said, it goes when you go back to Robin. Robin always did his best to make sure he was fighting. He when he went out there and fought, it was never with ill intentions. Terra always went out there after she get as she was getting deeper and deeper into the I guess the manipulation. She was out there to do little. She was out to do damage to them. Like she was out there to beat them. Robin was always cognitive of the fact that look, I'm not with this dude. Like y'all do understand I'm with this guy for an extended period of time until I can figure out how to save you. Because I think this was the part. This was the arc where he put like the nanos in them or something like that, and so he had to because it was Slade was on his butt like he had like he really had eyes on Robin at all times. So he was like, hey, look, you go out there and you start messing around, I'm gonna hit that button. They gonna start turning red. It was like this weird. They turned like this weird shade of red or something like that with the nanos. It was crazy. But yeah, so um, yeah, I just what she said about the massage. It's not a case of misogyny. It's a case of situations and circumstances. One person turned for the sake of his family. He went out there. He was doing everything in his power to save his family from dying. And sometimes you got to make some bad decisions. Well, not necessarily bad. Well, it's a bad decision to team up with Slade, but sometimes you got to make tough decisions. They may not be the best in the moment, but in the long run, they'll work out. You know what I'm saying? Tara, which I didn't hate her to the extent that some people hate her apparently, because I understand her mindset and why she did what she did. But there wasn't enough for me. There wasn't enough fight from Tara until the very end, and then we all I mean Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans, been out for years, but the time that the one time she finally fights back is she dies or she goes into stasis. I guess they never really explained it. Apparently, for what I remember from like she shows up again in like season 5. Some weird. It was like a dream sequence, a Beast Boy or something. I vaguely remember it. The person that made the video, what I'm talking about, they brought up that scene in the show, and it was like maybe she's alive. I never thought she was alive because they never had any episodes. They never made any indication of like, oh, we're working on trying to turn her unpetrify her, I guess, because at the end of that episode, the final episode of Terra, she goes like I guess supernova, Super Saiyan, and she basically sacrificed herself and turns to stone to save the city from basically a catastrophic earthquake, or I guess a dormant volcano, one of the two. But yeah, there you go. That's just my thoughts on what this person said. Um, like I said, the video she makes some good points in the video. Um, but that one statement she made is that's just a silly statement. That has nothing to do with one being a female, one being a male. That has to do with circumstances. Now, obviously, we bring this up. Are there people that just don't? Of course, there's always going to be people that don't like certain characters for something superficial, like, oh, she's a female. Oh, I side with this guy because he's a guy. I mean, that's very few and far between from the average person that's watched the show. But like to make that a like a consensus statement is false. No, I've never when I thought of them two, there's two situations, and this is coming from a guy that hadn't watched that show. I don't even remember the last time I watched Teen Titans. It's got to been years since I watched it. I still remember the main events of the Terra arc, or I guess the Judas contract arc, which is essentially what that arc in Teen Titans is, the Judas contract. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was just that statement was just like very very like you just trying to get some brownie points from trying to hit some buzzword. Like, come on now, you know better than that. Nothing, that stuff that was come on now. You gotta no no. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Like I said, I'll say it again. Um, their situations had nothing to do with one being male, one being female. It had everything to do with their situations. Like I said again, one person made a conscious decision after taking all the facts, and he made a conscious decision. His friends' lives or his own well-being. He gave up his well-being to save his friends, and at the end, it worked out. He was able to save his friends, get them nanos out, and beat Slade for that period of time. Of course, Slade always come back. Slade don't never die. And then the other person was strictly making decisions based off her feelings. Um, it was really not a whole lot of critical thinking. This man is not good. He has done nothing to show you that he actually cares about anybody, and you made the decision to jump into his arms because he showed you some compassion, and he gave you. I guess he gave you the power to control your power, but it's not. If someone gives you the power to control yourself, then you don't control yourself. They control you. They control you. They just giving you the false sense of security until you get out of line, and then yeah, like that, and then they'll take the power right back from you. That's what happened when she started getting out of line. Slade had that. I think it was built into his suit. They had like a symbiotic like suit thing going on that he gave Terra a special suit to control her powers. But when stuff started going left, and he was like, "This girl ain't acting right," he activated that thing and it started controlling her. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. This went on much longer than I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, so yeah, let me know. Do you think this is a case of misogyny? Do you think this is just a case by case thing, where just two different people had different circumstances that just happen to be different genders, or do you just think, or you just one of the people in the middle where he's like, yeah, I can see where both people are coming from. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Um, like I said, I enjoyed this video. I enjoyed this conversation. I didn't think I had this much to say about it. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.